Does this sound familiar? You get an important paper, you set it down on the counter, and when you need it later, it's vanished. Bills, medical records, school papers, it all piles up fast. And when you finally go looking for them, it's a stressful mess. You're not alone. I used to waste so much time searching for important documents, and it was so stressful. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be that way. I've created a simple system that keeps everything organized, easy to find, and stress-free. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear plan to set up your own system and take control of your paperwork. So stick around because I think you're going to love how simple this can be. Hey everyone, welcome back to Systematic Mama. I'm Christy, and today I'm sharing my simple system for keeping all your household papers organized so you can find exactly what you need when you need it. If you're tired of piles of paper taking over your counters, this system is going to make your life so much easier. Quick question before we jump in. What's the one type of paper that seems to pile up the fastest in your home? Is it bills, kids' schoolwork, random notes and to-do lists? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you're dealing with. And if you have any tips or things that you do to keep your household paper organized, let me know in the comments so we can help each other. Now let's jump in. If you watched the video I made a few weeks ago titled Organize Paper Clutter with This Simple System, then you saw the simple system I use to handle all the mail and all the paper that comes into your home every day. If you haven't seen it yet, I've linked it down in the description for you. As a part of that system, I use a folder labeled Office to collect bills, receipts, and anything that needs filed or dealt with at my desk. Once a week on Friday, I grab this folder and process everything. Today, I'll show you exactly how I do this and how you can set up this simple system at your home. Plus, stick around for a free download to help you implement this system. So let's go. The first part of my system is this acrylic organizer with 3 sections. This is where I keep 5 labeled folders inside. So this organizer can sit on my desk or it can hang on the wall. In our last house, it was mounted on the wall above my desk. But since I'm planning to build upper cabinets here, it now sits on my desk. So the folders are labeled inside, and the first one is labeled Action. And this is where I put anything that I need to deal with soon, like bills to pay or forms to fill out. The next folder is labeled Read, and this is where I put magazines, newsletters, or anything I want to go through when I have time. Then the next one is labeled File, and this is papers that need to be put into my filing system later. And the blue one is labeled Shred, and this is for any documents that contain sensitive information, and then they need to be disposed of safely. And the last folder is labeled Taxes, and this is where I put receipts and any tax-related paperwork that I collect throughout the year. And then it's ready when it's time to do taxes. And then what I do is each Friday, I sort through the office folder from the kitchen organizer, and I file everything into these folders. So this just keeps my desk clutter-free, and then it also ensures that nothing important gets lost. If this is giving you some ideas, send this to another mom who might need it, because it just might make organizing her home way easier. Now I can easily grab each folder and tackle it as I have time. On Fridays, I make sure to handle everything in the Action folder, which usually takes me only about 10 minutes. And then if I have extra time, I also work on filing the items in the yellow folder. I also use a budgeting planner to help manage our bills, savings, and expenses. And I'll be sharing a full breakdown of my budgeting system in an upcoming video, and it's going to include a free budgeting cheat sheet. So stay tuned for that. And if you're enjoying this so far, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more helpful tips for organizing your home. Next, I have 2 file drawers, one on each side of my desk, where I store all the long-term paperwork we need to keep organized. I color code my folders to make everything easy to find at a glance. So green is for anything money related, like bills or receipts. Blue is for medical paperwork, and yellow is for insurance documents, and red is for anything that's important information, including homeschool records. So having these colors helps me and my husband quickly find what we need without shuffling through a pile of papers. So here's how I organize it. Anything that's green has to do with money. So banking or investments or any bills, once they're paid, they go here for reference. And then the yellow stuff is anything to do with insurance. And so life insurance, home insurance and repairs, And then auto insurance and repairs, and also auto licensing goes in the yellow folders. And then blue is anything to do with medical. So this is where I have health insurance papers, and then also just medical information if I have any like journals or things I want to read about medical things. And then also I have a folder for each person of the family so that any of their medical records go there. And then I also have vet records for pets. And then this is just some important information and documents that I want to keep here. So this is my second file drawer. And in this drawer, I keep anything to do with homeschool here. So anything to do with homeschool plans or funding or report cards. Then I have a section for parenting. And this is where I keep any parenting resources that I have used or do use and want to reference again. And then I have a section here for any projects, so woodworking or home ideas or craft things. And then I have a section for camping stuff and emergency kit. And this one is really helpful because this is where I keep any notes that I jot down and I want to keep. And I'll show you more about that in a second. And then I also have a section for just other things that are related to home that I keep. And so that's what lives in this file drawer. I always keep a spiral bound notebook where I can jot everything and anything down. So business ideas, video ideas, home projects, parenting tips, and more. It gives me one central place to capture my thoughts, and it keeps my mind clear. And then once the notebook is filled up, I go through it and I pull out any pages that I want to keep. And then I file them away in the folder that's labeled Christie's Notes. This way I can freely brainstorm without cluttering my planner, which I just reserve for appointments and scheduling. And then to keep everything easy to read at a glance, I use a label maker. And it keeps my files looking neat, and more importantly, it makes it easy for my husband to find anything if I'm not around. And having these labeled in categories just makes it super easy to find anything that we need without searching through everything. And since paper clutter can build up so fast, I do a yearly purge before tax season. So I go through everything and I get rid of what's no longer needed, and I just make sure our system stays streamlined. Now, what about the really important stuff, like birth certificates, passports, and legal paperwork? You cannot afford to lose these. That's why I keep them in a fireproof safe. These aren't things that we need every day, but they're crucial to keep secure and protected. I know some people prefer to store these in an emergency binder, and that can work too. But for me, I like the peace of mind knowing they're in a fireproof safe. It's heavier than a binder, but it's still easy to pick up and move if needed. And since I don't have to access it often, it's worth that extra security. So to keep it even more secure, I store the safe in a more hidden area of our home. It's locked, and the 2 keys are kept in separate locations in the house, and both spots my husband knows as well. And that way it's protected, but it's still accessible when we need it. I also keep digital backups of our documents and family photos on external hard drives, which I then store inside of the fireproof safe. That way, if anything happens, we can still have copies of everything we need. And I've even put together a free checklist of everything that I keep in my fireproof safe, and then you can download it for free using the link in the description. I've even included space for you to add your own items and a spot that you can write notes in. And I keep this checklist right in the front inside my safe. So when I do my yearly check-in and purge before tax time, it's easy to reference this and then do an update if I need to. I also keep home warranties in their own labeled file box, so they're easy to reference when needed. And I'll be sharing a full breakdown of how I organize warranties and appliance manuals in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. And then for past year's tax records, I store everything, including supporting documents, in large envelopes inside a dedicated file box. And then I also keep digital copies on an external hard drive stored inside my fireproof safe. And if you want a full step-by-step guide on organizing your tax documents, let me know in the comments and I can create a full video on that. I hope this system helps you take control of your household papers and brings a little more organization into your life. Remember to grab your free checklist in the description. And if this gave you new ideas, let me know in the comments. And I'd love to hear what's one thing you do to keep your household papers organized. Let's share tips and help each other out. In an upcoming video, I'll be breaking down my budget planner system. So if you're looking for a step-by-step guide to managing your finances, be sure to check that out. I'll be sharing lots of simple, unique tips and even giving away a budgeting cheat sheet. So make sure you're subscribed. And if you're looking for more ways to get your paper clutter under control, I've put together a playlist on organizing things like incoming mail, recipes, and more. So click here to watch the full playlist and get even more helpful tips. And if you made it all the way to the end, drop a file folder emoji in the comments so that I know you're here. And remember, simplifying family life is a journey. Let's take it one system at a time together. You've got this, and I'm cheering for you every step of the way. Until next time, keep thriving.